Hi, this is Welcome to Self, and I'm your host, Dr. Hayley D. Quinn, the anti-burnout business coach. I'm a speaker, author, former clinical psychologist, and late identified ADHDer. Welcome to Self is a podcast for business owners like you who want success, but not at the cost of your well-being. This is about transforming self and transforming business. I'll be here to remind you that you're human first, and as well as being a business owner, you have different roles in your life that need your attention. And to manage those well, you need to take care of yourself in the best way possible. Here you'll learn about practices that will help you navigate not just your business, but your non-work life as well. And you'll realise that you're not alone in the ways you struggle. You'll have your curiosity piqued on various topics as I chat with wonderful guests and bring you solo bite-sized episodes. I'm here for service-based business owners and entrepreneurs like you to help you increase your self-care and compassion, change your relationship with yourself and your business, and elevate your business to a new level so you can live the full and meaningful life you desire. This is a place of nourishment, growth, and helpful information. A place where you can learn ways to assist you and your business to thrive. We'll talk all things mindset, strategy, and well-being, and I'm so excited you're here. If you haven't already, go and hit subscribe so you don't miss an episode. So let's get started. Hi, and welcome to the first episode of Season 7. It's really lovely to be back. And what we're going to do in this season is we're going to trial weekly episodes. So previously it was fortnightly, and I'm going to trial weekly episodes and see how that goes. And I'm going to keep checking in with myself as well to see if that's something that is sustainable for me, because as you know, that's what I'm all about. I hope you've enjoyed the bonus episodes that aired this year. And if you haven't listened to them, then go and check them out after this. There's just a couple. If you follow me on social media or you're on my mailing list, you'll know that we've had a bit of a rebrand, and there's also a gorgeous new website. So same address, drhayleydquinn.com, but definitely an upgrade. So I'd love you to go and check that out, and I'd love to hear what you think of it as well. So I've been thinking over the break about how important it is to work to our own rhythm. It can be really easy to get caught up in doing things the way everybody else does them, or listening to things on social media and thinking that that is the way we need to do things if we want to be successful. I think what's important is we need to start where we are. We need to think about, what does our business look like now? What is working for us and what isn't working? And how are we best working? Like, what are the things that help us feel more organized or help us stay focused on what we want to do? What I do know is that burnout is a very high price to pay for playing by somebody else's rules. And I also know it can be really tempting. Like, I've started the new year seeing people on social media, listening to what's changing, people talking about different ways to market. And my mind, being a human mind, starts to compare, what are they saying to what I'm doing? And do I need to do it in the way they're doing it? But I keep reminding myself and coming back to, I need to work in the way that works best for me, because that's the only way it's going to be sustainable. I talk a lot about getting to know yourself, understanding your brain, your particular neurotype. For me, I'm an autistic woman with ADHD, and my brain works in a particular way. And that doesn't mean everybody with autism or ADHD has a brain that works the same way. But it's important to understand the way your own brain works. Sometimes you might find it easier to stay focused if somewhere is really, really quiet. Or you might be somebody who needs some background noise going on so that you can focus in. And I know for me, that can be both. You might be somebody who works really well in the morning or in the afternoon or later in the evening. And you might have colleagues who go to bed really early and can't understand why you're working at 9 o'clock at night. But if that's what works best for you, and then you get a chance to perhaps sleep in the morning or have a slower start to your day, then that's going to be important. What's going to be a bit tricky sometimes, if you're somebody that only really functions best later in the day, is if you've got clients you need to see, is finding that balance between what works for you and what works for them as well. But again, there's ways that you can figure that out. So I think it's really important that we keep coming back and asking ourselves, how is this working for me? Yes, listen to what people have to say. There's lots of people with amazing information out there. I've been doing some new learning around marketing, a bit of learning around AI, but I always come back to, how can I incorporate this into my business in a way that will work for me and my business? And it might not look like the way somebody has taught it to me. I might have to adapt it. And I know when I'm working with my clients, I don't have a one size fits all. I have some ideas and I have some knowledge around human behavior change that really sticks, ways to work in business. And then I adapt it to suit the person that I'm working with. There's no point in me giving some prescription and saying, well, this is how you have to do it, because that isn't necessarily going to bring them the success they want. And also, my version of success isn't necessarily what you want. So also thinking about, what is it that I'm looking to achieve? What do I want from my business? What do I want from my life? And how can I blend my business and my non-work life so they really suit me, my lifestyle, my family, the outcomes that I'm looking for? Because this is what's going to give you a business that you're excited to get up and be a part of. This is what's going to give you a business that is sustainable. This is what's going to give you a business that you love. And that's what we want, right? I'm sure you didn't go into business for yourself to be bored or not enjoy what you're doing or be overworked or not earn enough money. So it's really important that you think about designing the business that's going to fit with you and your life. And I think the most important thing to do is start where you're at. Really thinking about what is going on for you now. Who are you as a person? What are your values? What matters to you? What's happening in your life right now? Are you in a season where you can kind of be head down, busy, building a business that you want? Or is this a season where perhaps some things need to go on hold, be delayed a little bit, so that you can focus on yourself or whatever else it is that's happening in your life? It's so easy to compare yourself to other people. It's so easy to see all the shiny stuff happening out there on social media. And it's so easy to find yourself falling short when you're looking at that. But it's really important that you remember, most people are putting the highlight reels out there. Most people are not talking about the challenges, the failures that they've had in their business or their life, the struggles that they're experiencing, or even perhaps the help they've got behind the scenes to help them do all these things. We know that most successful people are not doing everything by themselves. They've got people in their non-work life and people in their business who are helping with the tasks, taking up slack when it's needed, taking responsibility for some of the things that need to be done. And it's okay to do that. It's more than okay. It's necessary. And I also know this can be an area where people really struggle, both in thinking they deserve to ask for the help and also even knowing how to ask for the help. And these are all things that we can learn. And the more we practice, the easier it becomes. The more we check in with ourselves, the more we reflect and question on who we are and what we need, and the more we have the courage to reach out and ask for those needs to be met, the easier it will become and the more you can progress towards the business and life that you really, really want. So when I work with people in my Time to Thrive program, this is exactly where we start. We start where we're at. Really thinking about the foundations, the groundwork, the reflection on what's been happening, what needs to happen before we move forward into the plan and the dreaming and the goals and the learning new things and the taking action. Because we need to have our feet steady on the ground, look around us, understand where we are, who we are, how we best operate, and then we can move forward knowing that the business we're going to build is going to be a business that suits us and we can sustain. Because at the end of the day, if you're putting all you have into your business and you're running yourself into the ground, then the rest of your life is going to suffer. It's going to impact your health. It's going to impact your ability to earn income, and it's going to impact your relationships. And that can be an impact on some of the most important relationships that you've got. And I don't want that for any of you. So before you go headfirst into the next shiny thing, give yourself a moment to pause. Slow down. Tune inward. Connect with yourself. And perhaps ask yourself this simple question. What do I need right in this moment? Maybe ask yourself that right now. And listen to the answer. And when that answer comes, do your best to take action on that. And I know sometimes that can be hard. And it might be that you need to ask somebody else to help you with that. You might need some external resources or external support. So do yourself a favor and ask for that support. Reach out to someone and see if they've got those resources. Your future self will thank you for it. It's so lovely to be back with you for this new season. I'm going to be bringing you some short bite-sized episodes, and I'm also going to be bringing you some guest episodes. And I would love to hear what you think about the episodes. I'd love you to connect outside of the podcast. All the details will be in the show notes. And letting you know that the waitlist for the Time to Thrive program is currently open. Doors will be opening soon, and I'd love to see you in there. And in the meantime, take care of yourself. Don't forget to check in. Go well and go gently with yourself. And I'll see you again next week. Thanks for sharing this time with me today. I hope it's been helpful and supportive. If there's been something in this episode that you have found helpful, I encourage you to share it with your business besties so they can benefit too. Shares, ratings and reviews really help to increase awareness and reach of the podcast, meaning more people can benefit from the information. I really appreciate you taking the time. If you'd like to know about the ways we can work together, check out my website at drhayleydquinn.com. I'll pop the link in the show notes, and you can also join my mailing list from there and be kept up to date with all that is happening. I do need to say, because legal stuff, this podcast is solely for the purpose of education and entertainment. This podcast is not intended as a substitute for individual advice or advice of health professionals or other qualified professionals. Okay, now we've got that formal stuff out of the way. I love hearing from listeners, so don't be shy. Reach out and let me know your thoughts on the episode or what else you'd like to hear about. I wish you well in your relationship with yourself and your business, and may you go well and go gently. And remember, if you thrive, your business will too.